Hi everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter called isomerism. This chapter is very important for all those students who are preparing for IIT JEE as well as NEET. Okay, let's start our isomerism without wasting our time. Okay? Yes. So name of the chapter is nothing but isomerism. I hope everyone knows what is meant by isomer. Okay, so there are few students I hope they don't know what is meant by isomer. Correct? Let's understand what is meant by isomer first of all. After that, let us understand isomerism. Right? Yeah. Isomer is actually made up of two different words. That is nothing but iso means same or equal, same or equal. And what about mer means? Mer means parts. Mer means parts. So isomers are nothing but having same parts. In chemistry, what is meant by same or equal parts? That is nothing but they are having same molecular formula. Okay, let's have the definition of isomer. Okay, so right, so let's understand the definition first of all. Yeah, so what is isomer means? So two or more than two different compounds, two or more than two compounds, more than two different compounds having same molecular formula, having same molecular formula called as isomers, called as isomers. Right, let's understand this isomers with the help of an example. Okay, right, C2H6O, for example, let us consider this one an example. Okay, so with this there are two compounds possible. Let me write that. Okay, one compound is CH3 CH2 OH, and another one is CH3 O CH3. I hope you can say what is the functional group present in the first compound. Here it is alcohol, here it is ether. Okay, by the way, name is nothing but IUPAC name is nothing but ethanol. Whereas in the case of another compound, it is nothing but methoxymethane, IUPAC name. Okay, methoxymethane. Okay, if someone asks what is the relationship between both the compounds, then you can say that they are isomerism. Okay, isomers. Okay, and the relationship phenomenon along among these two isomers, okay, is nothing but called as isomerism. Okay, so what is isomerism? Isomerism is nothing but the relationship between isomers are called as isomers are called as isomerism, called as isomerism. Right, yes. So you can see in this example, this compound ethanol and methoxymethane both are having same molecular formula. You count how many carbon atoms are there in the ethanol. That is nothing but two carbon atom C2 and six hydrogen atoms C6 C2H6 and one oxygen atom. Correct. So same to same here also you can see in the methoxymethane compound also same molecular formula C2H6O. Therefore they are called as isomers. Okay, yeah. Let's have the characteristics of isomers. Let's have the characteristics of isomers. Of isomers, right? Yeah, first characteristic, everyone know that all the isomers have same molecular formula, correct? Definition itself saying that only, right? If they have same molecular formula, obviously they will have same molar mass, same molar mass, correct? Okay, and not only that, they'll have same general molecular formula. Same general molecular formula. That is nothing but for alkane. I hope everyone knows that CnH2n plus 2. Okay, suppose any two alkanes showing or exhibiting isomerism, that indicates they will be having same molecular formula, same molar mass, same general molecular formula as well. Okay, not only alkanes. Okay, any isomer. Okay, any isomer, any set of isomer you consider, they will be having same general molecular formula, right? After that, another one is important. That is nothing but they'll be having same empirical formula. They'll be having same empirical formula. I hope everyone knows what is meant by empirical formula. Empirical formula is nothing but simplest formula. Simplest formula. Okay. For example, simplest formula for C2H6 is nothing but C1H3, because these 2 and 3 are divisible by 2. Okay, 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 2, 2 threes are 6. Sorry. Okay, therefore you will get C1H3, right? Yes. So next important characteristic, they will be having same empirical mass. If they have same empirical formula, obviously they will be having same empirical mass also, right? And we have another one, that is nothing but same vapor density. Okay, same vapor density. So what is mean by vapor density? That's nothing but mass. Okay, that is molar mass is equals to 2 into vapor density. Okay, therefore vapor density equals to molar mass by 2. Anyway, molar mass is same, therefore molar mass by 2, that is also same. That's nothing but vapor density. Okay, see, if all these points are there, actually we are talking about the same compound but not about two different compounds. Why? If they are two different compounds, then something should be different, right? If everything is same, then compound is same, right? Then what is the different thing? What is the different? They'll be having difference in at least one physical or chemical properties, right? This makes, and this seventh point makes, the two compounds are different. If you don't write this, or if you don't understand the seventh point, and if you don't say this seventh point, that indicates you are actually talking about the same compound. Understood? Right. So at least one different physical or chemical property. Physical or chemical property. They may be different in terms of their physical state. There may be difference in terms of their boiling point, melting point, maybe solubility, or they may be show different reactivity with respect to particular reagent. Okay, so will all these things will tell you that both are different compounds but having same molecular formula, same molar mass, same general molecular formula, same empirical formula, same empirical mass, same VD, vapor density. Okay, let's have an example for this. Okay, So same example I'm writing here. That is nothing but CH3, CH2OH and CH3OCH3. Okay, right. So what is the molecular formula for this? Same molecular formula we should get, right? So what is the molecular formula? C2H6O. You count. C2H6O, same molecular formula. And what about molecular mass? So molecular mass carbon 12. So 12 into 2, 24. 24 plus 6 plus 16. And you count, you will get 46. Okay. So similarly here also you will get 46. What about empirical formula? Sir, empirical formula, simplest formula. Here it is not a multiple of anything. So it is a multiple of 1, correct? No? So if you have multiple of 1, therefore everything will be same. So empirical formula and molecular formula both are same to same. Okay. So therefore empirical mass and molar mass both will be same to same. Okay. Right. So here also it is 46. Here also it is 46. Okay. Now general molecular formula. General molecular formula. Okay. So it is nothing but CnH2n plus 2O. Correct? CnH2n plus 2. Okay. And what about this compound general formula? CnH2n plus 2O. Same, right? Next. If I don't write physical or chemical property which is different, then you can claim that both are same compounds, correct? But we know now that by looking at the formula, you can say both are different compounds. So what is the difference means? Here I will be writing one physical state, one physical property, that is physical state, and this actually distinguishes both of them. Okay, so physical state I'm writing at room temperature. Okay, I'm writing at room temperature, right? Yeah, so at room temperature, I hope everyone knows ethanol, that is nothing but liquid. And what about ether? That is nothing but gas. Okay, vapor density also same, right? So I hope you can write vapor density also. What is vapor density? Vapor density equals to molecular mass by 2, that is 46 by 2, 23. Here also 23. So this point is very important. Okay, right. Okay, so let's understand the classification of isomerism. Yeah, so classification of isomerism. Okay, yes. So the isomerism is actually classified into two types. Okay, first type is nothing but called as structural isomerism. What is that? That is nothing but structural isomerism. And what about second one? That is nothing but stereoisomerism. That is nothing but stereoisomerism. Understood? Now, stereoisomer is also called as 3D isomerism. It is also called as spatial isomerism. See, all are same. 3D isomerism or spatial isomerism. What is meant by structural isomerism? Structural isomerisms are nothing but those are the isomers having same molecular formula but different in the structure of the compound. Difference in the structure of the compounds. Okay, right. So I'll say those are the compounds. Those are the compounds having same molecular formula, having same molecular formula but different in the different in the structure of the compound. So structure itself different. That means that means connectivity of atoms in the molecule is different. Okay, understood? Right. That means connectivity is different. Okay, connectivity of atoms. Okay, connectivity of atoms is different. Connection is different. Okay, right. I'll give an example. Don't worry. Okay, yes. Let's understand the definition of stereoisomers. Okay, so what is meant by stereoisomers means those are the compounds having same molecular formula. Obviously they'll have same molecular formula. Okay, right. Then they will be different in what? They will be different in the spatial arrangement. Different in the spatial arrangement. Okay, spatial arrangement of groups or atoms. Okay, remember here connectivity will be same. Okay, that means what? They'll be having same bond connectivity. Okay, connectivity is same. Whereas in the case of structural isomerism, connectivity will be different. Okay, so I hope you understood this difference. Okay, so this is very important difference between structural and stereoisomerism. Okay, so one example I'll give. After that I'll give you the classification. Okay, right. So one example I'll write. One first example, that is nothing but CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. For example, you consider this compound. Okay, so what is the connectivity? You can write like this. Okay, all four carbons are connected one another in the linear fashion, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you consider this compound CH3, CH3, CH, CH3. Now you write them, or you find out the parent chain. Okay, this one is the parent chain, right? Now in the parent chain, what is the length here in the second compound? That is 3. What is the length in the first compound? That is nothing but 4. So that's nothing but what? It is what bonding connectivity will be different. Okay, here 4 are connected, whereas here 3 are connected in the parent chain, right? Yes. So you find out the molecular formula. That is nothing but they'll be having, see, both are nothing but alkanes only. So I can simply say CnH2n plus 2. Correct? So Cn, here 4 carbon atoms. So 4, so C4, H8 plus 2. That means 10. You count 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4, 10. Here also you'll get same thing. Okay, so you can say that the relationship between both of these compounds, they're obviously isomers. But what isomers? They are nothing but structural isomers. They are nothing but structural isomers. Yes. So I'll give another example, one example for the stereoisomers as well. Okay, so for the stereoisomers I'm giving one example. Try to understand here. Okay, C double bond C, here CH3, here hydrogen, here CH3, here hydrogen. Okay, what about another compound? I'll write same. Please try to understand. Don't say that both are same. Okay, right. So here hydrogen facing upward and CH3 facing downward. Now you consider that this is what axis of molecule. Okay, so in this compound, the CH3 is facing upward. That means it is above the plane, above the axis, and hydrogen is below the axis. Whereas in the second compound, hydrogen is above the axis and CH3 is below the axis. So both compounds looks like same, but they are not same. Understand? Both looks like same, but they are not same. Why they are not same? Because their spatial arrangement in the space arrangement is different. Their arrangement is different. Okay, and that's the reason why they are nothing but called as spatial isomers, or they are also called as stereo isomers. Stereo isomers, right? So now structural isomers and stereo isomers are further divided. Okay, see, structural isomers are further divided into six type. Okay, first one, that is nothing but chain isomerism. Chain isomerism, right? And second one, that is nothing but positional isomerism. Second type of structural isomers are positional isomerism. And third one is nothing but called as functional isomerism. What is that? Functional isomerism. And next one, that is nothing but ring chain isomerism. What is that? Ring chain isomerism. Okay, and after that, metamerism. What is that? Metamerism. And last one, that is nothing but tautomerism. Please write, it is tautomerism. Tautomerism. Right. So how many are there? So this is what second one, this is one third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Right? Yeah. So stereoisomers also further divide into two types. Okay. So first type, that is nothing but called as configurational isomers. Configurational isomers. And next last one, that's nothing but conformational isomers. Conformational isomers. Right? So what we will be doing means we will be learning each and every type of isomerism in detail. After that we will be solving few questions also. Okay, right? Don't skip the video and try to look at the video till the end. Okay, yes. So hereafter, as it is a starting lecture, you will find most theory, and next lecture onwards you will find most of the questions and answers and numericals, all those things. Okay, numerical values in sense like how many isomers are possible, like that questions also will be checking out. Okay, right, let's start the first. That's nothing but structural isomerism. Okay, so in that structural isomerism we'll be starting with the first type of isomerism, that is nothing but chain isomerism. Okay, that is chain isomerism. What is meant by chain isomerism? Chain isomerism can be defined as follows. Okay, those are the structural isomers. Those are the structural isomers. Structural isomers. That means structure only difference will be there. Okay, in which the number of carbon atoms, in which the number of carbon atom, the number of carbon atoms in the parent chain, in the parent chain is different, called as chain isomerism. Oh, that means what? In the parent chain, the number of carbon atoms will be different. That's all. Okay. So this word is very important. Okay. So number of carbon atoms in the parent chain should be different. Okay. Let's have an example for that. Okay. So the example what we seen actually under structural isomerism, that is chain isomer only. Okay. Right. Let's see the example. So CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Okay. And next one CH3, CH3, and okay, it will not come like that, right? Yeah, so I'll change. Yeah, I'll write same example only. CH2, CH3. All right, CH3, CH3. I hope you know this. So here 4 carbon atoms are there in the parent chain, and in another case 3 carbon atoms are there. Therefore, both are chain isomers. Okay, all right. Now this is what one example. This is what one example. So let's have another example. Okay, let's have another example. So second compound I'll be writing. Okay, yes, CH3, CH2, 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 OH, that is butanol. Okay, right. So what I'll be doing, CH3, CH3, CH, CH2, OH. Now you see, so here in this first carbon, first compound, what is the length of the carbon chain? That's nothing but 4. Okay, this is what main function, main parent chain. That's 1, 2, 3. Likewise, you need to number. I hope you know how to number also. Right. So now 1, 2, 3. Functional group should get more priority. More priority means least number. Okay. Right. Here only 3 carbon atoms are there in the main parent chain, and here 4 carbon atoms. Therefore, you can say that relationship between both of them is nothing but chain isomerism. Chain isomerism. Okay. Yes. So first question. Let's do that first question. So question is, how many minimum carbon atoms are needed in alkane to show chain isomerism? Okay, I'll write here how many minimum number of carbon atoms. Okay, number of carbon atoms, number of carbon atom are needed in alkane to show chain isomerism. Chain isomerism. Can anyone say? You try to answer yourself. Okay. Anyway, I'll say the answer. Don't worry. Okay. But try to answer. Yeah. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm going. Okay. Right. So answer is 4. Sir, how you got this? I'll tell you. Okay, general formula for alkane, that is nothing but Cn H2n plus 2, right? So if n equal to 1, only one compound possible, that is CH4. If n equal to 2, only one compound is possible, that is ethane, right? And if n equal to 3, then you have only one combination, that is CH3, CH2, CH3, right? If n equal to 4, That means then you have two combinations, right? CH2, CH2, CH3, or you can have CH3, CH, CH3, CH3. So these two are chain isomers. That means answer is 4. Okay. So next one. Okay. Next one. Second question. Okay. Second question. What is how many minimum number of carbon atoms are needed in alkene? Now try. Okay. How many minimum number of carbon atoms are required in alkene to show chain isomerism CI. Okay. If you want, I'll give options also. Try. Okay. I don't know answer, but options I'm giving now. So option A, that is nothing but 2, option B 3, option C 4, option D, okay, option D, that's nothing but 5. Anyone answer? Anyone try to answer now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, right. So alkene general formula CnH2n. Correct? No. 2 hydrogens will be less than alkane. Correct? So now carbon number 2, if n equal to 1, no alkene at all. Okay? No alkene. If n equal to 2, then only one alkene is possible, that is ethene. Correct? If n equal to 3, then we'll have CH3, C double bond, CH2. Correct? No? Yeah. If you shift this bond here, you will get the same compound. That's the reason why if n equal to 3 also, it will give only one compound. Let's see n equal to 4. If n equal to 4, let's see. N equal to 4, CH3, CH2, C double bond CH2. Okay, right. This is what one compound. Any other compound possible? I'm writing only skeleton. Okay, C double bond C. No problem. I'll write complete. CH3. Now tell me whether they are showing what kind of isomerism. Here in this case, what is the parent chain length? It's nothing but 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What about here? So it's nothing but 1, 2, 3. Therefore, they are exhibiting chain isomerism. So answer will be n equal to 4. So for alkane it is 4 only. Alkene also 4 only. Now try for alkyne. Now try to answer for alkyne. Try to answer for alkyne. So minimum number of carbon atoms required in alkyne to show Ci. Can anyone answer option you want? Okay, I'll give options. A 2, B 3, C 4, D 5. Correct. So you can answer the here also. That is nothing but here 4, right? So now, can anyone answer? I'll give 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I'll do now. right? So alkyne CnH2n minus 2. So n equal to 1, no alkyne. N equal to 2, only one alkyne possible, this one. Ethine. N equal to 3, only one alkyne possible. Okay. So this one. I'm writing only skeleton. Okay. If n equal to 4, I'm writing only skeleton. Okay. Now this one. Any alkyne is possible. Let's try. Is it right? Right or wrong? Wrong, because this carbon got how many? 5 bonds. Okay. So 5 bonds. That's the reason why this compound does not exist. So only n equal to 4, one compound is possible. N equal to 5, C, 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 triple bond. Now 1, 2, 3, the triple bond. Now I'll place here CH3. Okay. So I hope you can answer and you can understand also how I'm writing all these things. Okay. Right. So here it is nothing but 4 carbon atoms. Here it is, sorry, here it is 5 carbon atoms and here it is 4 carbon atoms. Therefore, answer will be 5. Right? So likewise, you can answer. Okay, I'm giving the questions and try to answer. Okay, minimum number of carbon atoms, minimum number of carbon atoms needed for the following, for the following to show CIA in alcohol, B in carboxylic acid. Okay, and try to answer these two. Okay, so answer if you want. I'll tell you the answer here itself, but try to get the answer on your own. Okay, what are the compounds and how you get that answer also. Try to do that. Okay, so answer equals to 4 and here answer equals to 4. Okay, with this I'm going to stop today's lecture. Okay, if you like the video, share and subscribe to my channel. Right, thank you.